Tonight on Local 5's hometown hero, Phil Moore had to get therapy for his PTSD that he suffered from combat during the Vietnam War. The Army veteran was an infantry platoon leader and was involved in several ambushes.
But Phil says he came out a stronger person after his service. Local 5's Nate Stewart sat down with him at his home in Menasha to hear more about life as an infantryman.
I actually did wear these also in the jungle in Vietnam.
Phil Moore enlisted in the Army.
This is just some pieces that I've picked up.
And served as an infantry platoon leader during the Vietnam War.
This is a pair of my jungle pants.
He was injured in combat.
This is actually the Purple Heart I received while I was in Vietnam.
Survived a helicopter crash.
The pilot came on the intercom and on the radio and he goes, "Mayday, Mayday, this is Minnehunny 6, we're going down."
And is still around to smile about it.
Yeah.
But his time during the war was no laughing matter.
If you were out where we were on ambush, you weren't supposed to be there, no questions asked, you were fair game.
Phil was responsible for about 24 guys at a time in his platoon.
We usually worked in 6 to 8 man groups doing ambushes as opposed to working in larger groups. That's how we worked at that time.
Responsible for ambushes and watching over his men.
You were responsible for their life, their death or whatever. You know, you were responsible for.
He's a Purple Heart recipient after a fight in a village.
I shot at a guy and he saw my muzzle flash and threw a hand grenade at me,
causing serious damage.
And I took somewhere in the neighborhood of 60 hits.
11 of them to the head, other hits to his chest and neck.
This is shrapnel.
And that helicopter crash?
It was a mechanical failure. We weren't shot down. There was a mechanical failure.
Which happened during his administrative duties flying in and out of Cambodia every day.
All of a sudden we had no clutch, we had no power.
But his experiences made him a better man.
One of the biggest things I took out of the military is you can do anything you want if you just put your mind to it. I was always amazed at how much I could do that I never really thought I could do if I just put my mind to it.
Phil now serves as chapter commander for Chapter 164, Military of the Purple Heart in Oshkosh. He's treasurer for the Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 351 in Appleton, and is the state finance officer for the Military Order of the Purple Heart.
I'm just the guy that pays the bills, that's all.
And pays his respect to fellow veterans like himself. Nate Stewart, Local 5 News.
Thank you, Nate, and thank you, Phil, for your service. If you would like to nominate someone from your community to be featured on our Hometown Hero segment, just email Nate at the address you see on your screen.